Hi dear friends, once again a warm welcome to yet another episode of Brain Pickers, where we have eminent personalities, where we share about our faith and also about their life. And the person with me needs no introduction. We are privileged to have Shri Derek O'Brien, Member of the Parliament.
I don't know where the Shri came from, but Tika, it sounds important enough.
Of course, you have told me to drop the formality of...
Yes, please.
So,
call me Derek.
Derek, thank you very much, first and foremost, to come on our show. And though you're appearing on Redemptorist Media Center for the first time, but Redemptorist Media Center is not new to you. Tell me something about that.
I will. Firstly, I'm very happy to be here in Bangalore. Doubly happy to be here at your media center. Also delighted that I could meet all the Redemptorist priests in the province. And Redemptorists have... my mother used to watch I'm talking about in the 60s and 70s, so we would kind of... My father wouldn't go for this is the mission...
Redemptorist missions, yeah.
Redemptorist missions. So mostly my mum, sometimes my dad, so we used to go along and we used to listen to these wonderful sermons. So that's the first experience we had with the Redemptorist missions when I was 10 or 12. And more recently after COVID, and actually just before that, when a dear friend of mine, Vijay and Sharon, lost their beautiful daughter, it was like my daughter, Sonika. So she, after her passing, the Redemptorist priests gave Vijay and Sharon a lot of strength to overcome that irreparable loss. Mm-hmm. It's been 6 years. So through them, that was my first, deep experience and how the Redemptorist touched her life and touched Vijay's life. And then, of course, COVID.
Yeah.
That's when I started participating in Mass through the Redemptorist service at 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's been a beautiful experience. And I don't want to sound condescending, Vijay, but I want to congratulate you and every single member of your team, and not only the priests, but to everyone here working behind the cams to produce this. Because if you go to a midday, if you go to a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday service, you'll see fewer people there. And now I'm seeing the numbers you guys are doing. So that experience, to answer your question, that experience with the Redemptorists on morning has pretty much had a major influence on me. And well done.
Thank you very much. For us, when we are celebrating Mass, we have a small group in front of us, but it is when we meet people like you, and we do get a lot of guests and hundreds of texts and messages telling us like what our services mean to them and how it has helped them spiritually, and that in return helps us to truly do our best. Now, you've been one of the most strong voices in the Parliament. And what does it mean to be a Christian and yet belonging to a minority, but to represent and to have a say at a bigger stage like the Indian Parliament?
This is my 20th year in politics. Mm-hmm. So I have been elected to the Rajya Sabha 3 times.
Yeah.
So the first thing is you need a leader, and I have somebody like Mamata Banerjee, mm-hmm, who can actually put you up there to get you elected.
Yeah.
We're a small number here of 2.2% or 2.5%.
Yeah.
Not only get you elected, mm-hmm, 3 times in a row, then make you the leader of the parliamentary party.
Yes.
So it's skill, commitment, whatever reason she's had to give me this opportunity. And I remember what she told me 20 years ago and then again 14 years ago when I became an MP. She said, Derek, you'll have lots of work to do in parliament, in the political party, in the districts, in public policy, but never forget one thing. From your little small community, you must be their voice.
Yeah.
And I never forget that. I try and do. I try and do my best. Little. But in this term, which started about 1 year ago, the third term, I want to try and do more because I do believe this is a great opportunity to use power for good.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you said that, I mean, that's very important, because with great power comes great responsibility, and the way you have represented and the way we have seen that in a very specific way. You are one of the voices that clearly fought the government, as it were, when it came to the farm laws. The church too is very conscious of the social responsibility, and the social teachings of the church is very clear about protecting the rights and working for justice. Now, how do you see your work working for justice? How do you see yourself?
So you see, the first thing, since you brought the church into it, and church, justice, working for justice, yes. I think the first responsibility of the church leadership, and I'm no one here to advise them, but I can only make some suggestions, is that we as the Christian community, since I'm on the channel of the Redemptorist Media Center, so whether it's justice for women or justice for the economically challenged or whoever, we must do that.
Yeah.
But we as a community must be communicating not only as a proactive or a defensive mechanism.
Right.
When the church is burnt, very bad.
Yeah.
That's the time, you will see. When something negative happens, no. We must be like today. There's nothing.
Yeah.
We're having a chat. We're not defending, something. So I think it's very important to set the tone. And that's why I think that's the first thing. Otherwise, you only don't want to be seen as candlelight.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, we will fight the anti-conversion bills or the Anti-Conversion Act. Why will we fight it? Not because of the Christian needs to fight it.
Yeah.
As an Indian who believes in the Constitution.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So, others say, no, the anti-conversion law, the Christians are fighting.
Yeah.
So this is a very important issue. I thought I should use this platform, that we must stand by the Constitution
of India.
And the second one, if I may, because you spoke about justice, and you see, Charles, I must tell our viewers that I call the younger priests and the nuns, by their first name. So don't get offended, but the senior ones, I call them father. It's just that, okay, thank you for understanding. And I think the other reason is very important is when other religious minorities, like the Muslims, the Christian must stand up.
Yeah.
If the Waqf bill is being opposed, I would like the leadership of the church to stand up and also oppose, because otherwise that story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone, I didn't oppose that because there was nobody, and at the end you were left alone. Tomorrow it will be. So I think these are the two: be in the news for positive reasons, be in the news for positive reasons, and the second one is, of course, stand up with others.
Yeah.
Keep reminding people, because we run schools.
Yeah.
The community runs fabulous schools, be it the Jesuits, I better not mention name because then I'll leave a denomination out and they'll get me into trouble and text me after that. So be it the Loreto nuns, the Jesuits, the Daughters of the Cross. There are so many, okay? I mean, I'm not auxilium. So many. Now, the Christian brothers. And so, we look at ourselves as minority institution. Yes, I always say we are minority run institutions.
Yeah.
But the touching of lives are from different communities. Roughly, I can estimate that 80% of boys and girls educated in Christian run minority educations are not Christian.
Yeah, absolutely. You've spoken about your public life, right? But for our audience and also for me, I want to know something about your personal religious life, as it were, your personal spiritual life. Like a simple question. People know you as Shri Derek O'Brien, the member of the parliament, who voices out, especially when there are things that associated with the poor and matter of justice, very strong voice. But as a person, who's Jesus for you?
Yeah, I think in a sense it has to be a living Jesus.
Yeah.
Somebody who's, touch and feel.
Yeah.
So, because my life changed in 1991, 92 after my little book which I did with Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
That was 32 years ago. So Jesus to me is, this is my very personal view, and if I say this, if it's controversial, then, and if you don't agree with me, then don't be upset with me. But to experience Jesus, I don't need to go to Velankani, my personal view. If somebody likes to go to Velankani, that's fine. Or I don't need to go to where the crib was in Jerusalem. To me, in simple ways, is touch lives.
Yeah.
It's not, I have to be at the Redemptorist morning mass at 7 o'clock, and for 30 minutes I do that, and for the rest of the day. So as you get older, and I think the other power which I found in that is failure, imperfection. When I go and get introduced to before I give a speech, they say this thing and this thing and this thing he did, but they don't never say about the failure. I failed in class 8. I had to repeat the class. But I think, so, to go back to your original question as who is Jesus to me is, when I'm in Bangalore, I came to the Redemptorist Media Center and I spent 2 fabulous hours with the Redemptorist priests. To me, that is a connect. To me, when I have been invited to address 500 nuns and priests on how the digital media can be harnessed for evangelization, to me, that's my experience of my religion. Now, without you asking me, you'll say, how many times do you say the rosary? I don't say the rosary. I have no, maybe I will at some point, find the reason to say the rosary, but I think the other power which one gets, no one's asked me this question before, so you're making me reflect, and almost, I wouldn't use the word provoking me, but you're taking me into a space which, looking into a camera, which I've done for 30 years of my life, I'm like wondering, should I look at Charles now, or should I look at the camera? And my few friends, dear friends of mine who I've grown up with, they must be sitting at home and said, man, he's got you on this question, O'Brien. You better be frank. And so I think, in summary, with my imperfections, he'll still have me over for dinner.
Perfect. That's the beauty of our journey. For us, when it comes to our relationship with the Lord, we are just His beloved one. All the other things just evaporate. And thanks for that, for sharing, for that personal connection with the Lord. And would you be able to share? I can see there's so much of connect, in the way you shared. The fact that you were able to kind of say, it's in my failures that I kind of recognize the presence of the Lord. Can you share maybe an incident where you really felt close to your spiritual self? Sometime in your life. Was there some time you felt like there's success everywhere, there's failure maybe in the social life or political life, but as a person, when you really felt that you found the consolation spiritually at a given time in your life?
I think grief brings you, when my parents passed away in 2016, and I knew my father was dying of cancer. So that's when you can feel that connect. That's where you realize there is something beyond.
Yeah.
I don't want to freak everybody out, I think, because this is a public medium, but there is something beyond.
Yeah.
And I think as you get older, you kind of,
Recognize.
people like me, I mean, you've been trained as a priest, it's a vocation. You must have got your call when you was 20, 25. You know, I have had some some not so good experiences with priests and religious in the past. I don't want to talk about it because it's not important to talk about it. So they're 99.9, they're all great people.
Yeah.
So, but I think as you grow older, maybe, in my case, maybe the death of somebody very close, like my friend and his wife lost their, I mean, I still can't get over it. She was 27 and the previous evening she was with my daughter and they were on the riverbank shooting pictures and then she was gone. Yeah. So I think this is the, and in this, even in this political space, you have to make the choices. I'm in Bangalore today. I've got no political program, none at all. I was coming here for this in the morning, and I must say they were very organized. 2 months ago, they asked me to make the Salesians and the Vatican. So then I said, oh, now if I'm going to Bangalore, wait, I have to go to that and meet these guys. These are rock stars. And I want to tell the priests and the nuns, if you're watching this, if you want people like me, and I'm saying this with all respect, if you want people like me, or not even as old as me, young people, you've got to stay connected. I mean, I felt the need to come here. Yeah. And we're talking, I don't know, I've got to go for a meeting at 8 o'clock, but I'm carrying on because I'm getting a chance to express myself. I'm so happy that I just didn't meet one or two of you. I met the whole community. And we're going to do a lot of stuff together because there I can see Jesus is maybe I have some skills as a presenter who understands little communication. So I'm not going to go and say Mass, I'm imperfect for that, or to give a sermon, but we can work some stuff out. How do you preach to, why 5,000? We are very happy with 5,000, 6,000 is your morning Mass. Why not 50,000? The content is going to come from you people. And I think I want to use one example. Again, and like my family, my dad, my mom, brother, okay, before Sunday was Mass. It's not that we would be no, Sunday was Mass. Lent you have to give up. Then my mom said, stop giving up, do something positive. Stop this giving up thing. Eat whatever you want, but do something. So today, there's another mission in my life. Which is to help a certain kind of people, but not to talk about it on your program. I'm doing what I need to do, and it's not for children, because I think that lots of stuff happening for children, for somebody else. So I think the challenge where people like me can have a little one paisa role to play is that I looked at Redemptorist Center. I've been coming to Bangalore, but why didn't I go to that provincial house to meet 20 priests? These are the questions the religious have to ask themselves. And people like me, imperfect, are going to ask you these questions. I'll give you a story, a personal story.
Yeah, please.
We had a house, we got it redone, spruced up and all. And then, so my daughter, who we call a Chindu. Her mother is Hindu, but she's a baptized Christian, so she's Christian, so we call her Chindu. And she goes to the temple and she comes to Mass. And like any 29-year-old, she'll go to confession once in 2 years. So we had to have the blessing at home. And the family discussion took place. So who's going to bless the house? This is in Calcutta. And guess what? All three of us agreed that we'd have 2 nuns who are going to bless the house. With no disrespect to any of the priests in Calcutta or any of the denominations, but we just felt connected with 2 nuns, one in her late 50s, one in her late 40s. But we felt that we'll invite these 2 nuns, and I'm not going to give you the names, nor am I going to give you the denomination because that'll cause a lot of controversy. But, Charles, I thought they'll come. They'll bless the house. Ta-da-ta-ta. Then we'll give them some dinner and they'll go home. They prepared a 30-minute service. They blew my daughter away. 20, that time I think about a year ago. She was blown away. Tonuka, my wife, was like, whoa, what was this? So my only request is that is it. I mean, there's such a beautiful life. The priests and the nuns, each one of you live such sacred lives. But try and connect a little more. That's what we hope to do. And Charles, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope lots of people watch this. Thank you.
So before we conclude, I just want to thank you, Mr. Derek O'Brien. And it feels like we've had a very good relationship, though we've kind of started chatting just recently.
We met today, 1 hour ago at Redemptorist Media Center. I must tell all the other places where I go to, the Jesuits, the Salesians, and the Daughters of the Cross, and the Loretto, etc. The snacks here were very, very good. The tea was okay, but the snacks were very, very good. Okay, I'll come back here.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And before you go, just one final question. What's the message that you want to give to all of us? I mean, you've been a person representing people. Not a big message, but you as a Christian living in this country, beautiful country of ours, what's that one simple message that you want to give?
It's for everybody. Charles, you can do it. I can do it. Even somebody who's not a priest or not a politician can do it in their own building, is use power for good.
Good.
Use power for good. Touch lives.
That's fantastic. That's a very clear and I think very powerful message. Thank you very much. And I'm sure you enjoyed this conversation. And do share it with your friends and family. As you know, we continue the series of Brain Pickers, where we talk to interesting personalities like Derek, and who come and who don't shy away from sharing about their faith. And Derek, thank you very much for being here. We'll catch up again on the next episode. Have a good day.